Saturday, everybody. It's your boy Big Brandoh live right now with the homie Rhybeats.
What up?
He's in town here for the Impressions Expo, and I'm glad I got him on the pod. So I appreciate you for dropping by.
Anytime, man.
If you have not already checked out Rye's channel, make sure you check out Rhybeats on YouTube, Instagram. He's everywhere. He does live streaming. Dude's a wealth of knowledge, especially in the print world. And I'm glad I got him here today on the pod. So
Yeah,
appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Definitely a treat being here.
There you go, man. So let's talk about the show a little bit.
Yeah.
You're here for Impressions. What was your experience like at Impressions this year? Because you travel around to a lot of these shows, right?
Yeah. I think the first handful of years I was traveling, trying to hit the shows, because when you're here in LA, I mean, we get everybody here.
Yeah.
But if we go to Texas and the other ones, they're more centralized to that region, the people that go.
Yeah.
So we don't get everybody that goes there. So
so there's not as many vendors at these shows?
It's just more of like the closer, like for instance, Texas, whoever's in that region, let's just say central region, the companies, they go to that one. Not a lot of the LA companies will go there. Depending on their budget.
Yeah.
But like the other one, that's just how it is. But as far as to this show, I like to go to this one because, like you said, it's the biggest one. Right. And you get a lot of vendors, a lot of people you could talk to, actually shake hands and look at their product and see what's new.
And that's a big one for me, right? Is every time I go to these shows, I want to make sure that if I see something online, it looks way different in person. And then you get a chance to feel the stuff and really ask the questions, right?
Right.
So for somebody that's never been to a trade show, what's your advice on them going to the trade show and some of the questions they should be asking vendors?
I mean, I think for the people, especially if you're new going to these type of events, I think I met a good handful of people that's just, this is my first day. This is my first time, going, or this is my first weekend, whatever. And I tell them, just, keep your mind open, because they're going there for a reason. They already know, like, let's say I want to do HTV. And I want to see what's going on. But it does open your mind. Like, I could do more. Like, there's other ways to embellish or decorate a garment, and it's an eye opening. And I think I spoke to somebody that's in Arizona. They were like, "Oh yeah, we wanted to do direct to garment DTG," and I said, "Did you find anything?" Yeah, we did, but then we found DTF, we found Puff, we found this, something that they don't really know about. They just know like, oh, it's just DTG, and then now they saw Sublimation. So it's one of those things. It gets your mind going, and you're like, what do I really want to do now?
Yeah. And I think because it's so overwhelming, there's so many things. Everybody's looking at these bright, shiny machines.
Yeah.
You go in there and your kind of brain goes into this weird overload of, I want to do this. I can make money with this. I need this machine.
Yeah.
But a lot of times some people bite off more than they can chew when they go to this thing, and they come out and like, man, we just signed our life wave on one of these machines.
Yep.
We don't even know how to use it yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you do it, like, because you have your screen printer, you do DTF, you embroider, you're in the heat press space, you do a lot of different things. So when you were looking for equipment and were looking into just anything for your business, what was some of the research that you were doing before you went to the show, or were you doing the research at the show?
Definitely I was doing research before.
Yeah.
Which company, what, like, for instance, I just got into DTF, right? April of last year. I think 2020 was, you were there.
Yeah.
We did that thing with Supacolor. Remember?
That little party
club thing.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction of DTF. Yeah. And I didn't know what it was. I think none of us knew what it was at first, right? So we couldn't figure it out. But the funny thing was, I was in the Philippines, I think a year or two before that.
Yeah.
And they were doing it over there already. I didn't know.
No way.
I thought it was just a transfer, like, whatever, right? Like, it's just a transfer.
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together. But then when we did that Supacolor thing, I was like, oh, this is what this is.
And then that's crazy.
Yeah. So I didn't put much into it. Like, oh yeah, it's another form of embellishing, right? Yeah. And then when DTF was coming around, I didn't know what it was. Yeah. Because full color. Yep. So I definitely did my research. Who's doing it? Which company is making the printers, and stuff like that. So when I decided to jump into DTF, it was a leap.
Yeah,
Like I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, let me just get into it. You
Oh
know,
shit.
let me see how it goes.
Yeah.
I was gonna just print stuff for myself,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a POD, you
Yeah.
know. And next thing you know, it's just I'm printing every day,
That's
and it's
crazy.
crazy. And definitely do your research. Going back, you know, to
Yeah,
what your
yeah.
question is, definitely do your research before you go to any of these shows. Have a plan. Don't just show up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you show up, you're gonna be running around like
Yeah.
crazy. So just do your research, make sure you know what you're getting into, and hit those spots first, and then look around on the other ones.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's always my thing. A lot of people that I seen over the weekend that it was their first time.
Yeah.
My strategy all the time is I go one day to kind of look at everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next day I'll go back, and that's who I want to go talk to, right?
Right.
I want to go make sure I'm talking to the right people and asking the right questions. And some
Mm-hmm.
of the questions I always ask is, one, do they have a Los Angeles-based warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're talking about blanks, I like to see that because I want to know if I could go pick the shit up myself,
Right.
instead of getting it shipped, right?
Right.
And then after that, then I'll ask, what the wholesale cost is and what the minimums are and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always, where are you guys located? Do you guys have
Right.
a warehouse close to me?
Right.
Because that's going to make my decision a little bit different.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's so much new technology that happens every year. And you've seen from 2020 to now, the game's changed so much.
Yeah.
Right? And there was fewer transfer companies there.
Yeah.
There was more people selling DTF printers. The DTG guys kind of got scaled out of there. The screen printer guys are now moved around, and it's not so big in that space either.
Yeah.
And there wasn't that many vinyl guys there either.
No.
So it's so trippy to see just kind of the wave of how the industry's going.
Yeah.
And since you go to a lot of these other shows, like, let's say, I don't know, have you been to that Atlantic City one?
No, I haven't been to that one.
Or what about Printing
The
United?
Printing United, yeah.
Have you been to that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've never been to that.
Mhm.
Is it somewhat similar to the Impressions Expo, or is it a little bit different?
It's different in a way that Printing United is anything printable.
Oh, so it's all printing.
It's all printing.
Oh,
So
damn.
like for us, for garment decorators, they put us in a section.
Oh, wow.
And then on the other section, it's like large format printers.
Yeah.
And another section is like car wraps. I mean,
Damn.
they kind of section everybody off.
Yeah.
But that thing is huge. That thing is, if you've ever been to the Vegas Convention Center,
Yeah.
it's the whole convention.
The whole
center.
thing? Oh.
Yeah. So it's packed.
So last year it wasn't in Vegas, right?
It was in Vegas.
Oh, it
well,
was?
Well, the one I went to is
Oh,
Vegas.
okay.
I think they have one in Vegas, and then they go to Georgia or something like that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
somebody was telling me if I'm going to this year's because it's in Vegas,
Mhm.
and I said, man, I've never been to it. I always hear
yeah.
about it, but I've never been.
I'll be there. I'll
Okay,
be there.
nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to sign up and go to that thing too. But
Yeah.
I want to kind of dig into a little bit of your background.
Okay.
I interviewed you years ago, and I think it was back in 2020 on my channel, and we kind of got a chance to talk about how you got into the print space and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of want to ask you more about not the business that you're in now. We'll get into that.
Mhm.
But businesses that you did prior to, getting onto YouTube and showing your print business and stuff like that. Did you have any businesses previously?
Yeah, I'm still running that business. I'm actually a full-time DJ.
Dope.
I do have a entertainment company, so we do a bunch of weddings.
Yeah.
We DJ weddings, we do lighting, and we do photo booth.
When you say we, is there a collection of DJs, or is it just you?
Well, there's 3 of us.
Oh, nice, nice.
But two of us is partnered with another company.
Yeah.
So we do because where I'm at, we're the DJ community is really small,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always like, I just picked up a gig. I can't do this gig.
Yeah.
Can someone help me out? You
Yeah.
know, and we're like, okay, let's do it. You know, we're in this like Discord, we're in the pool, like,
There you go.
pick up my gig. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I got it. So it's one of those things that the DJ community, like I said, in the Bay Area, I think there's like a good 20 of us that kind of like in this little group.
Yeah.
So there's, that's how I started. I left my 9 to 5, did that full time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then I got into. Oh, the reason I got into well, let me go back.
Yeah.
Let me go back. So doing DJing, of course, I got into music, and I started making music for myself, just making beats and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got involved with some of the Bay Area people there. and we were going back and forth here in LA because we had a contract with a record label, and we were giving out music to them and stuff. And then that's how I got into like making beats. And after that, then I got into the apparel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the DJ business,
Mhm.
obviously you're doing weddings and stuff like that,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you quit your job. Was it a sustainable thing where you had enough gigs lined up, or were you kind of just overwhelming yourself with your full-time job and doing the DJ thing?
Yeah, the 9 to 5, it like I did not quit right away. So what
Okay.
happened was I forgot what year it was, but one of the years I was doing a lot of gigs Thursday, Fridays, sometimes even not Thursday, Fridays. Yeah, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, sometimes even Sundays. And I was making more than my 9 to 5.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So, I said, you know what, let me give this 2 years and see if I can sustain this and just work a Friday, Saturday, and in a month I still make ends meet,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
more, I'm quitting.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm leaving.
That's right.
So it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, my wife had a good job, and the only thing to worry about is the insurance. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you just get under my insurance.
Yep.
Then so that year, done.
There you go,
So
man.
yeah, that's it. That's how, and that I sustained that for a good 5 years,
Oh shit.
and then I'm still doing it, but
Yeah.
and then I got into the apparel stuff.
Okay. So to refresh people that didn't watch the video before, when I interviewed Rhybeats, was tell people how you got into it, because I'm always under the impression that people get into the apparel space because they want to start their own brand, because that's how I was, right? I got into screen printing because I wanted to screen print for myself.
Yeah.
I never cared about screen printing for anybody else. It was kind of just my thing.
Mhm.
But everybody's journey is a little bit different. So talk about your journey, just getting into the print space and why and how you got in there.
The print space was, I saw a need for the DJ community. So going back, I wanted to do my own brand.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, let me do my own brand, because all the DJ shirts was kind of cheesy.
yeah,
I want to make an actual brand, and I didn't know how about doing that.
yeah, yeah.
And then when was that print on demand?
Printful?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when Printful was starting,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw it, I got it printed, shipped it out to myself to see how it looks, and it was trash.
Yeah.
Sorry to say the least, it was trash.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't sell this.
Yeah.
And Printful is POD, so like, someone buys something, you don't see it, it goes straight to them.
Yep.
And I didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And then I kind of let it sit. And then my homeboy, who was a Bay Area rapper, he's into basketball, so he had a brand for AAU, doing team uniforms for AAU basketball. He said, hey, just swing by and check out the shop. So I swung by, and we were just talking. We were talking about music and things like that.
Yeah.
And he said, I know you quit your job. You're not doing anything during the day. Why don't you work for me?
Oh shit.
So I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
He said, well, at that time, I'm not sure if he's still there, but he gets stuff from overseas.
Okay.
The unit cut and sew.
Yeah.
Sublimation. Can you be the liaison for the China branch to get the cut and sew? Make sure we get everything.
Yeah.
And he also, on top of that, he also had the clothing brand, right? Yeah. I said, cool, whatever. He hired me, not knowing. I didn't put. I don't know what I was thinking, but like, I didn't know that the China brand was gonna call me at 2 a.m.
Yeah, because of the time difference.
I'm like, I'm on like, oh yeah, just send it. It's good, whatever. So I did that for a few years, and I put my brand aside because I didn't know what I was gonna do. And then so happened that he was moving a house, or he was moving from a house. He said, hey, you want this conveyor dryer? I didn't know what it was.
Oh damn.
He said, if you want it, it's at the house. Just take it. So I'm like, okay. And I took it.
So that was your first piece of equipment?
That was my first piece of equipment.
Damn.
It was a Vastex. I don't know. It was like a Econo Red.
Yeah.
Dual chamber. I didn't know what it was.
Damn.
And I didn't know I couldn't plug it into the wall.
Yeah.
I was like,
because that is a normal. It's not the 110. It was a 210.
It's a
220.
220, and there's two of them because two chambers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even plug it to the wall.
Yeah.
So That was the first equipment I got.
Damn.
And then I noticed that a lot of his AAU customers, like the coaches, say, "Hey, I need to print some shirts for the parents."
Yeah.
And we would like, "No, we don't do that." And and I noticed, like, why are we turning these down?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, we'll just get someone else to do it, to print." So we got someone else to print. I'm like, I could probably do this.
Yeah.
So then I just did my research.
Oh shit.
Then I got a press that was janky press.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't work out, and then I think I went to like 2 different presses until I found one that would actually print, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I went back to, I said, let me start my brand. I did maybe like two or three different designs, sold maybe 5 or 6 items.
Yeah.
And then how that went is my friends knew that, oh, you're printing shirts. And I'm printing everybody's shirts now.
That's right.
And then
That's
the brand
right.
got pushed back.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think forever. So
yeah.
Long story short is that's how I got into the screen printing.
Shit, that's crazy. So it was kind of like you almost like you fell into it, right? You kind of you seen there was a need for it, and you guys were pushing away work or leaving so much money on the table where you're like, hey, you know what? Instead of outsourcing it, let me just try to do this and get it going myself. Right. Now, in the process of learning screen printing, were you just heavily on YouTube, or did you know somebody that was a screen printer, or how'd you learn?
Heavily on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I must have messed up so many screens. Yeah. Busted so many screens.
That's right.
But there was only one company. Like I think there's 3 companies in the Bay Area that sells screen printing equipment. Yeah. And like inks and things like that. Yeah. But there was only one company that I always go. They're the only one that actually like sat down and helped me.
Oh shit!
So that's cool. I gave them so much. Like I always give them a lot of products. I send people there. Yeah. Because their knowledge base is they'll actually stop what they're doing. They'll help.
That's dope. What's the name of that company?
It's NorCal Screen Print Supply.
Dope. Yeah.
So they're good people. They were at the show today. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah. I saw them at the show. And I felt bad. I was like, sorry, dude, I haven't ordered anything from you for a year because I haven't been screen printing.
That's it, man. And that's perfect segue into kind of what I wanted to talk to you about was recently you got into the DTF business. Yeah. First, let everybody know what printer you have and what you're operating now.
Okay, so I bought the Omni DTF.
Okay. And what's the print size that you can do with? And I know it's by run, but...
Yeah, so that one, the width on that one, the max is 14.5 inches. Yeah. I tell people don't send me 14.5. Send me 13. Yeah. Because it will not cure 14.5.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well, the dryer they got a bigger dryer now.
Yeah.
But it's just don't. I mean, who prints 14.5
yeah.
inches wide?
Yeah. That too, right? Yeah. Okay. So before you got into DTF, obviously it sounds like you do a lot of research on stuff that you're doing. One, what made you go with the Omni? And then 2, what made you actually step into this business?
Yeah, so at that time, everybody was trying to get into the DTF space. Yeah. There were just converted printers, printers that shouldn't be DTFs, and I'm like, and there was a couple of people that was doing it. And the reason why I went with Omni was first the Cheetah Girls. Yeah. I'm just kidding. But because of the size. Yeah. I was like, I'm in the garage. Yep. I have embroidery, screen printing stuff, and I'm limited in space. Okay. So the big, like, if you really want to get into screen print, not screen printing, DTF is you see all these big printers, right? Yeah. It's size of a car. Yep. And size of a Honda Civic. And I'm like, there's no space for this. Yeah. And when I saw the Omni, it's a perfect space. Yeah. I mean, as far as the footprint. So then I just, did a Hail Mary and I said, let me just buy it. Oh, and damn. Going to the Printing United in Vegas was the last time I saw it because I said, I need to see this printer again. Yeah. Going to the trade shows, that's when you can get your hands on it. Yeah. So I said, let me go back and look at it. That's the main reason why I went to Printing United. Oh, shit. To look at it. So I looked at it. The salesman was there. I must have went by like 20 times trying to talk to him. Yeah. I said, you know what? Let's just do it. And he said, what? I'll give you a deal. We're having this end of the year deal or something like that. I said, well, if you can give me that deal, let's do it.
It's on.
It's
Yeah.
on. So
Damn.
that was just my reason of getting that printer, just
Yeah.
because of space.
So the footprint meant something to you because you're limited on space. So if you guys don't know, he operates out of his garage.
Yeah.
If you're a home business that wants to start a print business, I highly suggest watching Rye's stuff because he shows you the ins and outs, but actually how to run a print shop from home.
Yeah.
He has everything in his garage. So like you were saying, the big printers are the size of a little car.
Yeah.
So the footprint of the Omni made sense to you because it would fit your workspace for one.
Yeah.
But then also you would have I don't know if you guys ever been to the trade shows or if you haven't. Omni always does a pretty good job of selling the products, right? Their booth is always crowded.
Yeah.
They really utilize women around their around their booth and stuff like that. They understand how it works, right? Now before you got into the business of DTF, were you getting into DTF so you could print for yourself or print for others and sell transfers?
Yeah, I should have started that first, but that first year, I think, let me see here, before I bought the printer, the year before that, and falling into buying the printer, I was sending DTFs overseas.
Oh, damn! All right.
And I said, if I can sustain this thing, because to me, it's like I cannot jump into something or a product or a machine, without getting any clientele.
Oh yeah.
So, I was doing that over. I was getting, at the beginning, I was getting maybe like 100. It's like 50. What were they doing? I think they were doing 60 inches long.
Oh damn, yeah.
And I was getting 1 or 2 of those a month. And I was like, okay, that's the first 8 months. And then the 6 months after that, I was ordering every 2 weeks.
Oh damn.
And then I see that it was progressing.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of that year, I need to look into DTF. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And I still didn't want, honestly, I did not want to get a printer.
Yeah.
Just because, like, like I said, at that time, every company wanted to get into that DTF space, and they were just changing their printers to call it DTFs.
Yeah.
and all the headaches and people were saying, so I didn't want to get into that.
Yeah.
And then, and I actually bought a 330 TX Plus.
Oh yeah.
It was a DTG.
Yeah.
And I said, I can probably convert this, just put it on paper, reverse it, whatever. So that's what I did. It was a pain in the, pain in the ass.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And I sold that. And I said, let me just go ahead and buy the thing. And that's how I went back to Printing United.
Yeah.
Took a good look at it and like the ins and outs, how it works.
Yeah.
Because you can see it run.
Oh yeah.
And I said, let's just do it. So I just pulled the gun and I didn't get it till like April, I think, the following year.
Oh,
because it was backlogged.
Yeah,
Everybody was buying it.
Yep.
And I think it took me a month to get it running the way I wanted.
Yeah.
And then off and running.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when there's a lot of people that go to these shows or that watch YouTube that see the DTF printers. A lot of people always want to know, is this something I should buy, or is this something that my take on it is, I never want to put people in debt, right? I say it all the time on my channel. Yeah. So I never promote stuff that I don't believe in. And it's not that I don't believe in DTF. It's just that I don't own a DTF printer because I don't want to have to sell transfers.
Yeah.
I like selling t-shirts.
Yeah.
So if I bought it just to print for myself, the investment's there, but at the same exact time, the payoff wouldn't be as great as ordering transfers from somebody else.
No.
So I operate the way that I do because it makes sense for myself. Yeah. Now, if you're in the business to sell transfers, do you think it's a lucrative business to get into if that's what your main focus is, to get into DTF to be able to sell transfers to other people?
Yeah, I mean, if that's your business model,
yeah,
and you can you can do volume, and you can see the volume coming in, yeah,
there you go.
I mean, if you have clientele that's always consistently buying, on a weekly basis, not once a month, then yes. If not, if you're still doing once a month, get it printed somewhere else, or have someone else print it.
Yeah,
because it's those printers you have to print.
Yeah,
if you're not printing on a consistent basis, it's just gonna be a big headache.
And I'm from the outside looking in, right? And I
Uh-huh.
see a lot of the content creators that do own machines and they're selling transfers and custom transfers. But I also notice a lot of them sell stock transfers now.
Yeah.
And the way my brain works is I'm thinking these guys are selling stock transfers because they want to keep the machine running. And then since they're running the prints, they're just going to package up the prints so they could sell.
Yeah.
So for me, I would want to sell mainly, instead of selling stock transfers, I just want to do custom work where people send me their artwork and I print it on transfers. But you're right. If you don't have the clientele to keep the machine running, then the machine's basically going to die.
Yeah. And that's what I did when I had my 330 TX.
Yeah.
I didn't like, I bought that specifically for DTFs, right?
Yeah.
To sheets.
Yep.
And that wasn't even a roll, that was sheets.
Yeah.
And I did not, for me to keep that thing running, I went to different shops and say, hey, I do DTFs.
Yeah.
And then we went to like a vinyl shop down the street from the house. And hey, I could print full color.
Yeah.
If you guys want to, give me your stock and you can hang it and sell it, whatever.
Yeah.
I did that for a while just to keep the printer running.
Yep.
For the 330, if it sits for 2 days, it's you're cleaning the heck out of it.
Yeah.
And for me is, you're right. If you don't have it running the whole time, or printing for somebody, or printing for a store, or just printing something, you're gonna have a headache. And right now I'm off. I was here Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna be home for 5 days.
Yeah.
Hopefully that thing still turns on. I mean, it'll turn on, but I don't know how it's gonna print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of nervousness. Obviously, that printer comes with a hefty price tag. By you doing the research and outsourcing for a long time to make sure that you had the work and the clientele for it and stuff like that, when it came down to actually pulling the trigger and getting this machine, was there still any self-doubt in your head of, I hope my clientele's still coming back, or I'm hoping that we can, basically print money on this thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, my biggest clientele is the hotels.
Yeah.
And I'm just being transparent. It's the Hilton.
Yeah.
So Hilton is a big company. They have different branches.
Yeah.
So I print for DoubleTree and all that and so on.
Yeah.
I've been screen printing their stuff, and I was really nervous to give them something else,
something different that they're not used to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because especially for corporate, they have a set, like, this is what we want, this is the color we want. You can't deviate.
Yeah.
This is the size. It has to be this size.
Yeah.
If you get anything bigger, you get in trouble. All that other stuff. So I'm like, even the font. I don't know, the space from the font to the thing. So they're really technical. And if you don't send them a tech pack, it's just so. Wait,
let me stop you right there. There's a lot of people that are watching that don't know what a tech pack is. Can you explain that?
So a tech pack is something, because I learned this through the basketball company.
Yeah.
So sending stuff overseas.
Yep.
So a tech pack is basically your mock-up. You show them where the artwork is, and let's say you do a left chest. Tell them exactly what it is. This size.
Yeah.
This color Pantone, the PMS, all, like, the technical specs of every single artwork that needs to be printed.
Yeah.
For us, we're not making the garment. We're just getting stuff printed, right? It's just more of the print for us. But if you're getting something overseas, like a sublimation or a cut and sew, it has to be really, really technical. Like, is this size from here?
Yeah.
The length and all that stuff. But as far as the printing, is just the technical spec of the print.
Yeah.
So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. You know what? And I say that because when I say that term so loosely because I expect everybody to know that.
Yeah.
Until I start getting questions like, what the hell is that? Or if I showed a picture of a tech pack that I was working on, they're like, hey, where can I get that? And I'm like, kind of explaining what it is.
Yeah.
So tech pack is basically just, that's the mock-up that you're sending to the printer or to the customer. So everybody's on the same page to know what colors you're using, where the placement is, and stuff like that.
A very detailed mock-up.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. So I hate to cut you off like that, but
no, I totally understand. You're right. Yeah.
So you're talking about the Hilton and, you know, the stuff that you were doing for them. It had to be this size and everything
Yeah.
before you started offering DTF to
Yeah,
them.
it took me a few months to get the courage
Yeah.
to like, okay, let me just send them this.
There you go. Yeah.
So I remember I'll never forget. I sent them polos.
Yeah.
I think I did like 300. No, not 300. That's something different.
Yeah.
I did like 40 polos.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, their name, their logo on the left chest, and individual names.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sent it to him. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, here it is." I didn't say if it was screen print. I just said,
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, these look really nice." And then I said, "Okay, cool." Then I waited maybe a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Because I know they were gonna order something else. So I physically went there.
Yeah.
To the GM. I said, "What do you think of those polos?" And he was wearing it.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, they look really nice. They're really sharp."
Oh,
you know,
damn.
And it's really white.
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, that's not screen printed." And then I brought some samples with me.
Yeah.
He said, "What do you mean they're not screen printed?" And I told him, "Well, this is the new process. It's digital." And he didn't even question. He said, "Yeah, we're gonna go through this right away. That's what we're gonna do."
There you go.
Yeah. And then the fact that I told him that it's full color.
Yeah.
We can do as many colors you want. I'm not gonna charge you screens.
Yeah. There's no setup or
the way you want it, we'll print it.
Yep.
I don't have to charge you multiple screens.
Yeah.
Multiple colors. And that's the thing, because a big corporate is like they got a budget.
Yep.
And they're gonna stick to that budget.
Oh yeah.
So there are even a couple of times that it didn't reach their budget and we had to like go a cheaper route, which we both didn't like.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, "This from now on, this is what we're gonna do."
There you go.
So
man, so walk me through or explain, because I would be nervous to explain what I'm doing, right? Because you're offering him a product, he already has it, you don't know if he likes it or not yet, and then you're telling him, "Hey, this is not the traditional screen print. This is not what I've been giving you. This is something totally different." And then you're explaining the technology to them, right? To me, the client really doesn't care how the sausage is made. They just care about the end result. So a lot of times it's built up in your head like, "Oh man, I'm so nervous about talking to this client about the process." I say that because there's so many people that are new to the game that feel they need to explain the process to every single customer.
No.
What do you think about that?
I mean, you get those customers that know what they want and want a specific look and feel, but 95% they don't care. Like you said, okay, does it look right what I want? It's on the shirt. How long is it gonna last? I'm good.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't care.
And I ask you that because you come from the screen printing world, and we're talking about transfers now. So your clients are used to your quality of screen print, and then now you're offering them DTF. And the DTF obviously is holding up and it's working out for your clients and stuff like that. So that's such a good thing to hear. One, to me, I think DTF is obviously the future, and it's a new technology and it works. But ultimately what it does is it helps the whole heat press community.
Right.
Because now everybody can use DTF. Everybody can apply this.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah. Like you were saying, it was, I'm a screen printer.
Yeah.
And when DTF came out, I hated it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, screen print the best.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And then I just made that leap.
Yeah.
And that leap was a lot, like, I know I see where, like, going back to the shows, right?
Yeah.
For instance, you see they had the carousel heat press.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see where it's going.
Yep.
And I'm like, a couple of years ago, that wasn't even.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see that. Now you see these hybrids.
Yep.
And, Supacolor is a hybrid.
Yeah.
And you see where it's like, if you're not going with the flow of technology and where the future is going, especially in that industry, you're going to be left behind.
Oh yeah.
But given the fact that there's still there is a place for like HTV transfers.
Yeah.
It's not going away.
No.
There's a place for everything.
Yep.
But it definitely, just think about your business model and what you want to do and go with that.
Yeah.
Don't try to jump to every new product.
Yeah.
And
this is something that I had this conversation this whole weekend with people, because they were like, "Are you thinking about buying a DTF machine?" And I tell them no.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, why not? And what a lot of people don't understand is when you see the DTF machine, you're like, all right, I'm going to print for myself. I'm going to print for others. I'm going to sell transfers. I'm going to do all this. But if you have no clients for any of that, you're not going to be selling shit, right? So the crazy thing is, I always tell people when they ask me and they're like, I want to sell transfers. And I always tell them, do you know anybody else with a heat press? They're like, no, I'm the only one in my circle that heat presses and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, who the hell are you going to sell transfers to?
Yeah.
And when I say that, it kind of throws them off, but I'm really trying to help them out. I want them to understand what they're really getting into, right? The idea is dope of printing for yourself and selling the transfers and doing all this stuff. But if you're not already set up for that type of business already, you know, it's a hard climb out of that hole at that point.
Yeah. Like going back to what we're talking about, it's like, don't jump into it if you don't have the clientele.
That's it. That's
you
it.
know, it's, and if I didn't have the clientele and I bought my DTF printer now,
Yeah.
who am I going to sell the transfers to?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, that's the main thing. It's like, if I was doing, like I said, I was sending stuff every week
Yeah.
to overseas. So that just, for me, that made more sense for me to do it.
Yeah.
The only thing bad about going overseas is it takes 5 days for you to
get
get.
that. Yeah.
And again, I was still learning. It's like, oh, it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Then I have to resend it and wait another 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's one of those things, like, if you don't have the clientele, do not do it on anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
HTV, screen printing, anything like that.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just be the middleman.
That's exactly it, man. And I preach that so much, especially like getting into embroidery, right?
Yeah.
I seen you had your machine way before I got my machine. And I was outsourcing for a whole year. I have always outsourced all my embroidery.
Yeah.
But for 1 year straight, what I was doing was just tracking the data on how much am I outsourcing, how much am I doing, what's these minimums, what clients don't want to reach those minimums.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, all right, there's a space for me to get a single head machine, or there's a space for me to kind of offer embroidery and do it on my own. But I did that research for a whole year just to justify, all right, this is how much I'm outsourcing. This is how much I could be doing in-house.
Yeah.
And I have the clientele for it.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you said that about, you know, the DTF business and you doing stuff overseas before you jumped in.
Yeah.
Because it's more of just understanding what you're going to invest into, and it's making a smart business decision, right?
Yeah. And going back to the embroidery, the reason why I bought it was I was sending a bunch of embroidery to other people.
Yeah. Yep.
I said, why can't I just do this in house?
Exactly.
Yeah. But if I get big orders that I can't, I got a one head, you know. So if I can't do that big order, I'll send it out.
Yep.
But if I could do the small minimums, that's fine.
That's it.
You know, and it's working great.
Yeah. And you were one of the first guys that I seen on YouTube to get an embroidery machine outside of A-Dub and all the other guys that's been in the embroidery space. Yeah. But you were the first ones that I seen where I was like, oh, damn, he got an embroidery machine. Let me see what he's going to do with it, right? And then you were showing a lot of the troubleshooting and stuff that you were going through. And you have a Tajima, correct?
Tajima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at it, I was thinking, all right, I want to get it to do hats for myself. That was the main thing. I want to be able to, you know, switch up colors and do all this stuff for myself.
Yeah.
Rarely do I even stitch hats for myself now. Like now I'm just doing it for other people because the work just comes in when people know that you can do it. And you know what's crazy is I mainly do hats, but there's so much money in polo shirts and embroidery. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
And that was my main thing too. So I just want to do hats.
Yeah.
I want to do hats. And then, you know, like I said, we're going with the hotels. It's like they have to have polos.
Yeah.
And I said, well, okay, let's do it. Let's do some flats.
Yeah.
So we did, you know, some polos and even hoodies and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I said, my main thing is hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want a hat? Like, I'm selling you the hat, you know, but they want something else on top of that. You know?
Let me ask you this. So when it comes to doing the flats, are you using the Magic Hoop stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even have I don't remember if I bought the Magic Hoop first before I got the machine.
Yeah.
But I didn't even use that green.
The ones that
comes with it. Yeah. Like, no. There's no way.
Yeah. That's something that, you know, I've pushed back on so much. And then once I seen how easy it was, and my partner that he ordered Magic Hoops because he was doing a big job.
Yeah.
And I said, damn, that's all you're doing is snapping these magnets together. I said, damn, man, instead of trying to wrestle with it, you're getting it dead on every single time.
And then you leave that circle mark.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like I'm a cheapskate, man. So I hate wasting money, or I hate spending money if I really don't need to, right? So I was struggling trying to like hoop all this stuff. And then when my homie got the magic hoop stuff and I seen how fast he was going, I said, damn, man, like at a certain point, you got to stop fighting convenience, man.
No, exactly. It's just take that investment.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll pay off the next two.
100%.
100%.
Oh, yeah. So on this podcast, basically what I like to do is I try to highlight mistakes that people made in the business world, in their own personal businesses and stuff like that. Do you have any business mistakes that kind of stick out to you that you made, whether it's in the print business or the DJ business or business in general, maybe a business that didn't work out, or bad business decision on buying equipment or something?
Bad decision on buying equipment. Let's start with that. My 330 TX. I was actually out here in Lancaster. Is that how you say it? For an Anatol open house.
Oh, okay. Is that where they're based out of?
No. It was a business, a shop.
Oh,
They
okay.
just did an open house.
Yeah.
And they had a big thing. So I'm like, okay, let me go.
Yeah.
And support, you know. So I went there, and I wasn't at that time that year because I was looking through like DTF, DTG, and then this was on sale. It was like $1,500 or something like that.
Oh, damn.
And it's the Plus.
Yeah.
But the guy was like nearly 2 hours away from Vegas.
Oh, damn.
So I drove there, pick it up.
Yeah.
And then drove, and it was just the biggest headache of equipment. Man. But it was like $1,500.
Yeah.
Wrong. Then I got rid of it. I mean, as far as equipment, I think that was the biggest mistake. Other than that, like I said, I did my research.
Yeah.
And so I know what I wanted to get.
Yeah.
You know, because the last thing you want is just waste money.
Yep.
And that was the only wasted money I got.
Yeah.
That was the most recent one.
Yeah.
The other ones was like I said, I went through like 3 or 4 different screen print press.
Yeah.
I bought them all used because it's like.
Are you doing the automated presses, or is this all?
It's
manual?
all manual.
Oh
all
shit!
Manual.
Okay.
So
okay.
My first press was a silver press from Ryan, an old one.
Yeah.
I bought it used because going into a space of printing your own, I didn't want to buy anything new because I don't know how I was gonna do it.
That's it.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Then I bought a 4x4. I forgot what it was, and that didn't work out either.
Yeah.
Because it was, I shouldn't have bought it. Yeah. Just looking at it, I was like, oh, it looks beat up.
Yeah.
But I still bought it. And then I went to 3 different presses, and then buying or getting something new from Anatol, it was just like night and day. Like,
so was that your first brand new?
That was my first, like everything got changed to Anatol.
Yeah.
And that was brand new.
Yeah.
And everything worked at the jump.
Yeah.
And knowing the difference between having a back clamp and a side clamp.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was just, I'm never gonna go back clamp again.
Yeah.
It's just side clamps is just the way to go.
Yeah. Okay. So, when it comes to buying equipment and stuff, I've wasted tons of money on equipment myself because sometimes I bite off more than I could chew.
Yeah.
Sometimes my dreams are way bigger than my reality.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a part of the learning process.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, if I could help minimize people wasting money.
Yeah.
By learning by, somebody else's mistakes and stuff like that. Yeah. So is there any like, did you ever have any bad run-ins with doing bad business with a certain person, or did you ever have as we provide a service, right? Mm-hmm. So we provide a service to print for other people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes those other people, they have a certain idea on what they want their shirts to look like. They have a certain idea of what they want to pay. And then sometimes you can't see eye to eye on that. Have you ever had any headache customers or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my first year, definitely my first year.
Yeah.
Not knowing the business.
Yeah.
Didn't do any research.
Yeah.
On how to get clientele, how to book things, what's the right way, to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost so like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just because I did the service.
Yep.
I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Things like that. It was the homie discount.
Yeah.
Whatever, everything you could think of, it happened. And and learning that situation and what the right thing to do, what I'm supposed to do. Definitely is getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I still give the homie discount
Yeah,
if
yeah.
need be.
Yep.
But it's definitely those are my biggest mistakes as far as doing jobs, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
So this is something that I get asked all the time, and it's, should people take deposits in, and what's the limit on the deposit process? Is it 50%? Is it
Okay.
stuff like that? Or if somebody's just doing a one-off custom job, do you take a deposit for that? What's your process like?
My process before, it was 50%.
Yeah,
So I can order the blanks,
that's it.
and
Yeah,
then you pay when you get it.
yeah,
I did that for 6 months or so, and then get burned.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So now mine's like, I gotta pay. You gotta pay up front.
Okay, yeah,
100%.
yeah,
You don't go to McDonald's, pay half for your fries, and
yeah,
get.
yeah,
It's one of those things. If you want it, you pay for it,
yeah,
and that's how everything. That's how I say any retail.
yeah,
You go to Best Buy or whatever, you have to pay full.
yeah.
So why is it not different?
Exactly.
Why treat it differently?
So, have you found any pushback from previous clients that used to pay a 50% deposit? Everybody's pretty upfront and cool.
And the reason I don't understand why I didn't do that in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, because I think I went to, not went to. I think someone told me that.
yeah,
So just get the deposit. I'm sorry. Going back to the DJ world.
yeah, yeah.
We get the deposit, and then we'll do the gig,
And then you get paid the
and then
rest after.
and you get paid after the gig.
Oh, damn.
And that's my mindset was, let me get the deposit.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, and I get paid once my service is done.
yeah,
But in the garment or in the service world, in this type of service world,
yeah.
it's different.
Oh, yeah,
So I'm like, forget it. You pay me up front.
yeah.
Like,
What a lot of people don't understand is we front all the money when it comes to it, right? We're
Yeah.
buying the blank t-shirts. If you're buying transfers, you're buying all the materials already.
yeah,
So it sucks if you tie up all your money into this one job and you only get half the money as a deposit. And let's say, something messed up and you got to come out the pocket for some of that. You already did all the work.
Mhm.
And then the person's like, well, I don't need those t-shirts no more, or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
or they don't want to pay the full when they come and pick up the shirts. That to me has always been like a dicey thing. And I'm a pay in full kind of guy also.
yeah.
Um,
And you get to that point, like, okay, they paid the deposit, they cancel that order,
yeah,
they lose their deposit,
yeah,
and then what are you gonna do with those shirts?
yep,
There's a couple of things you could do is return them.
yeah,
You get charged 15% restocking
Yep.
fee, or you charge that customer 15% to restock.
yeah,
You get to that kind of like dicey,
Yeah.
kinda, awkward thing.
yep,
Or you just hold on to those shirts. And if you look at my shop, look in the background, I have bins
yeah.
because those are the canceled shirts.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like, and now I'm just sending them to the Philippines. Like, you want,
Yeah, yeah.
some extra shirts.
And for myself, that's what I always do, especially on my shirts that I mess up on and stuff like that. A
Yeah.
lot of times it just gets donated, right?
Yeah.
I would hate to waste it and just dump it in the trash.
Yeah.
So for myself, I'd rather just donate it.
Right. Right.
So I'm all for that. But I'm glad you answered that. You don't take deposits, and for the same reason I don't is, one, I've been burned in the past, and then two, you're right. Like, if you go to McDonald's, you're not paying half up front, half
No.
at the end. You're paying for the whole thing. They make your food, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It should be the same in the print space, and that's where I kind of get with like other content creators and people that are in this space that we're in, and they're preaching certain things, and it confuses the people, right? Because we're saying one thing, somebody
Yeah,
else is saying another.
Yeah. It's I guess it drives me crazy a little bit.
Yep.
Like, it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
Just be honest. Like, if you are doing the half now, half
Yeah.
later, prepare to get burned.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
everybody pays to get something.
Yeah.
So don't be that person, because you're gonna get burned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Sooner or later.
it happens to everybody. It's happened to me a bunch of times. So how do you deal with you were talking about, the homie hookup and stuff like
Yeah.
that, friends and family. How do you do that, and where do you draw the line at for that kind of stuff? Because this is something a lot of people run into. It's like, hey, my friends and family want some stuff. Do I give them a discount? Do I not? Do I charge them full price?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was like, what do you want? Okay, let me just get it done. You just pay me.
Yeah.
whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's never.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it's you draw the line. It is if it is family.
Yeah.
I mean, I can care less, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. Let's just get
Yep.
it done. But the homie hookup is really it's the difficult space.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
I got burned a couple of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're my friend. Whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's one of those things. But now it's like they know, like, because that's when I was starting off. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I messed up a couple of things.
Yep.
Whatever, you can have it.
Yeah.
But now they know, like, I'm more seasoned.
Yeah.
And then like they'll pay.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Because they know that it's a business.
Yep.
And it's not they understand that the money it's not for me, it's for my family.
That's it.
And
That's it.
If they see that and they can understand that,
Yeah.
then they'll pay it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I am too. It's I'm always down to hook up, you know, friends and family
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I'm always down. And
Yeah.
a lot of times my friends are good enough to know that this is how I feed my family.
Yeah.
And they would hate to take food away from my family. So they're okay with paying full price because they actually support me. Right?
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. That's the one thing to support. If
Yeah.
they are your friends and family, they will support.
exactly.
And if they're not going to, you know where their line is.
Yeah.
Know, it's like, okay,
And
well,
you
cool.
know, a lot of people that they'll hit me up and they'll say, you know, my uncle wants this, but he wants the family discount and this and that. And I'm
Yeah.
saying, you know, it's cool if you wanted to operate that way, it's cool. But
Yeah.
you give that discount once, then that's going to be the set price with that person forever.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, if this is your business, you kind of have to treat it as your business.
Yeah.
There's a fine line of hobby to business.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get stuck and hung up on that fine line.
Yeah.
Because they don't know.
You got to get out of that mode.
Yeah.
You have to.
Especially if you want to operate as a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you file as a business, treat it as a business.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So now that you have the DJ gig going on,
Mm-hmm.
your DTF business is booming and you're selling stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go from here? Is it scalability as far as, you know, growing the space and getting more equipment and stuff like that? Or is it getting more clientele? Or do you focus more on DJing or the print side?
The DJing thing is like my weekend job.
Yeah.
And that's pretty sustainable. It's pretty on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I don't really have to worry about that. Even if
Yep.
that falls off, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But as going to the printing company, the business is, I'd definitely like to scale that more
Yeah.
this year. Just because I saw what was it, April, May, June, July, August, how many months is that? April, May, June, July.
That's what,
August, 8 months,
Yeah.
whatever, 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Like let's just put it this way. I'm making more printing transfers
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
screen printing
There you go.
for that many months.
Yeah.
And to me, it's no brainer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to push squeegees.
Yep.
I don't have to burn screens.
Yeah.
So if I can scale that now
Yep.
to something, if I could double what I did, then it makes sense to just, for me, my next step is getting a bigger printer.
Yep.
But by doing that, I have to get a shop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my thing right now. I got to figure out this year is like, am I ready for a bigger shop?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, or I could just do it at home.
Yeah.
You know, I like being at home.
Yeah.
I just don't want to pay the overhead.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Because you're already paying for your house. So
I'm only
it's
paying
easy.
for my house.
Yeah.
I don't want to have 2 mortgages.
That's
you know?
it, man. I just explained this to somebody that stopped by the store today.
Yeah.
And I was saying, man, if you could operate out of your garage, operate out of your garage for as long as you can until you outgrow that space.
Yeah.
And don't try to force yourself to outgrow that space. Make sure you could get every last inch out of that thing before you decide to move out of there, because taking on that extra overhead is crazy.
Yeah. And I think people don't, I'm not sure, but people don't understand that this is your set price at home. When you go to a shop, your price is going to change
Exactly.
because you have overhead.
Yep.
You know, don't think you're going to be pocketing $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be pocketing $500 a month.
Exactly.
You know, because you have overhead, electricity, and maybe employees.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's so much that goes into it. You know, a lot of times people see the spaces that I use and I open these small print shops everywhere and they think, all right, I need to do that. And it's not to show you, hey, this is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of I want people to just grow their business from home, operate from home as long as possible, because having a place like this doesn't make you legit. It doesn't make you more of a business. You can operate from home as long as possible.
Yeah. And with what happened to COVID,
Yeah.
everybody went home.
Yep.
It solidifies that.
Yeah.
Because, some people, well, back then it was more of, I can't treat you seriously, or I can't work with you because you don't have a business place or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've had that.
Yep. Me too.
I have a handful of clients.
Yep.
And I said, well, okay, but now it's different.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Now it's accepted, right?
It's accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's accepted.
It's crazy that the home business now is what it is, because if you said 5-7 years ago, I'm a home business, people look at you kind of crazy. But now
it's just a hobby.
Yeah, you have people that are baking cakes and making food out of their homes now, and people are willing to buy this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's so normalized.
Yeah.
And to me, that's dope. I support the home business 1,000%.
Oh yeah, same here.
But when you're thinking about somebody cooking your food, and a restaurant is graded at whatever, you go into a restaurant, it's A, B, or C, and you're eating out of somebody's house that you don't know if it's clean or not, but you're just genuinely there because you've seen the food on TikTok or something, right?
Yeah.
So that's how normalized the home business is where you're willing to eat out of somebody else's kitchen.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And you don't even care about it no more,
no,
right?
You don't even ask.
No.
Has this been sanitized?
Yeah. It's like the TikTok video looked cool, so you're like, here, I want to buy the food now, right? It's such a crazy transition in such a short period of time. But I'm all for it. I'm all for the home business. I'm all for the small business. And I love when people grow on social media. Yeah. And so talking about social media, you're a content creator yourself. I have a hard time calling myself a content creator still. Here. It's weird. I haven't embraced it.
A YouTuber.
Yeah.
I hate
it's
that
such
title.
a crazy thing to say. And it's not that it's frowned upon. It's just I feel weird and I haven't embraced it yet.
Yeah.
I know I'm a YouTuber. I know I'm a content creator.
Yeah.
I know I'm in this space. How has your social media content creation kind of career panned out? And then also, where do you want it to go from here now?
Well, I got on YouTube not to be a content creator.
Yeah.
My story with YouTube is, let me just backtrack a little bit, but my story with YouTube is, like I said, I was DJing.
Yeah.
And then there was a time that I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
And my wife said, why don't you just write, put your stuff on a journal. Diary.
Yeah.
I tried it.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
I said, well, and then this YouTube was kind of like creeping up, right?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, let me just make videos.
Yeah.
So I just started making videos intentionally. So when I'm gone, I'm still in that space. Like my kids could still see me.
Yeah.
So that was just my life, a diary.
I've never even thought of it that way. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna be here for another 40, 50 years, if that.
Yeah.
And when I'm long gone, my kids can still see me.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Damn, that's dope.
And that's how I got into YouTube.
Yeah.
And then and see how my kids grow up and back then. And then I got into printing, and basically let me show you guys my mistakes. kind of thing. Let me just film and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then that's how I just got started.
Sweet. That's crazy that you say that, because I've never thought about that. And that footage is going to live there forever. Forever. It's on there, right? So now it makes sense the way that you make your videos and the way you break them up into like almost like seasons of a TV show. Like, because I watch how you title stuff and how you label stuff, right?
Yeah.
And now it all makes sense.
The reason why I did the seasons thing, because I have ADHD, and I need alignment on things.
Yeah,
because I'm a drafter. I'm an engineer, so I do blueprints.
Yeah,
so everything has to be 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah,
it has to be straight lines.
Damn.
I can't go off like this.
Yeah.
So that's why it just makes sense. Okay, let me just go to like 50 videos.
Yeah.
Then another 50.
Oh shit.
It just makes sense to me that way.
Damn, then
So-
my channel probably gives you anxiety like a motherfucker, man, because I'm starting series like crazy and I'm like losing track of the numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I lose track. I'm like, where are we at? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
that is just my ADHD. I have to do it that
Yeah.
way, you know.
So far, how long have you been on YouTube?
I don't know. I think I don't really know.
Yeah.
I would say at least till 2016, 2015.
Okay.
But I did videos before that.
Yeah.
I just wiped them out.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, just doing whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually trying to make videos,
Yeah.
some sort of content
Yeah.
was, I would say, maybe 15.
Oh, shit.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm around 2013 or 2014, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm in that space.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Somebody could check that out. But for
Yeah.
myself, when I got on, it was more so I just wanted to help my friends. And I thought I was making videos that weren't public.
Mhm.
So my very first 3 videos are the how to get your DBA and your EIN
Mhm,
and the
mhm.
wholesale license, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Very first 3 videos that I made. But I made them and I used it so I could send links to my friends that were asking me, how do I get my wholesale license? I didn't understand that it was public on YouTube until I started seeing the comments.
Yeah.
And then people saying, oh shit, thanks for this. I've been wanting to
Yeah,
learn how to do this.
That's crazy. Because like I did the same thing. Like I just, just when I said, oh, let me just make an actual YouTube video.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did that, and there was a comment like, someone's watching.
Yeah,
this
who the hell's
thing?"
seen this? Yeah, yeah.
I got 5 views.
Yeah.
In 3 months.
Yeah.
What? I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And that's how my journey in this started, because I was never going to tell people about t-shirts. I was never going to tell people
Yeah.
what I did.
Yeah.
It was, hey, this is how you get your DBA. This is how you get your EIN,
Mhm.
what the EIN was, and this is how you get your wholesale license. And that was it. And then months went by without me posting anything. And then I started seeing the emails of all the comments. And I'm like, oh, fuck, people are watching this?
Yeah.
And I was telling my wife, should I take it down? Or like, because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
panicked.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, shit. And a lot of it was, hey, thanks for showing me how to do this, but what the hell's your business?
Yeah.
And then that's when I started answering in video form, like, oh, shit, I make t-shirts and this is what I
Yeah.
do. Then I started looking around and said, nobody's talking about transfers. Nobody's talking about heat pressing. Let me just make videos about that shit, right?
Yeah.
And then here we are now. I still haven't fully embraced being a content creator. I suck at making content. Like I was at this show for the last 2 days and I didn't record one thing at the show, right? I took a
Right.
couple pictures
Yeah.
on my phone, but I didn't record anything. And I go there with the intention of saying, all right, I'm going to record some content, or I want to make a reel over here and this and that.
Mhm.
And I found myself yesterday before I was leaving, panicking, trying to
get something.
film
Yeah.
some stuff, right? And I'm like, damn, I had all weekend to do this and I didn't
Yeah.
do nothing.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm a bad content creator, I'm bad in that sense.
Yeah.
For you, do you put yourself on a schedule? Do you just turn the camera on when you're working? What's your process like?
I don't have a schedule.
Okay.
Before I was doing vlogs. I
Yeah.
was doing daily vlogs. And
Let me ask you that. I've always thought about doing that and I've tried it and it's so
Yeah.
much work for myself.
yeah.
How was it for you? Because you did it for a while.
Yeah. My first couple ones my first few years I did daily vlogs.
Yeah.
And then a few months after Nacy Neistat
Yeah.
did his, I'm like, yeah, mine's trash.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny that you say that because I started watching his vlogs and I'm like, man, this dude has an interesting life.
Oh man, yeah,
And I'm like, my life is not that interesting,
yeah.
man.
Honestly, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like, yeah, no one's gonna watch my stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that interested.
Yeah.
I do like 5 things in a day
Yeah,
and repeat it every day.
exactly.
It might change a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
doing the daily vlogs sucks. It takes so much time.
Yeah.
Even to do something that's 10 minutes, even just regular videos like now,
That's crazy.
it's something to upload 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And then you chop it up into 10
Yep.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then, in an hour or 2 hours of editing.
Yeah.
It's people don't understand. It's like, it takes a good chunk of time.
Yeah. So
Just-
what camera were you using? Were you using your phone or were you?
No, I was using this Canon PowerShot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot. It's just a regular
Like a point and shoot, right?
point and shoot
Yeah.
camera. The camera lens comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm in the frame because there is no.
There's no screen
there's
to
no
flip
screen.
open. Yeah.
and then the screens came out and then I think I went through like 10 different cameras.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To figure out what exactly I wanted to do.
I always feel weird if I'm vlogging, if I had, I pulled out a regular size camera, then I feel weird talking to it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't embraced myself being a YouTuber,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
feel weird doing that
Yeah.
in public.
Yeah.
Right?
I used to have the big DSLR camera.
Yeah, yeah.
And that thing is like,
Yeah.
and I'm like holding it, and it at that time it was weird.
Yeah.
And people didn't really it wasn't well, for me, I didn't feel accepted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get that weird look.
Yep.
Like, what the heck is he doing?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm about to get robbed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody's gonna come take this camera.
Someone's gonna yank it. So now it's like it's more accepted because
Yeah.
everybody knows what a vlogger is.
Yeah.
A YouTuber is.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they don't mind it now.
Yeah.
In a sense. But yeah, now it's just I just run my GoPro because it's not in your face.
Yeah.
And
the profile's pretty tiny, right?
I can put it in my bag.
Yep. Oh, that's an
And-
easy call, man.
Yeah, and the other ones that I used to have is with the DSLRs, you have to have lenses.
Yeah.
I must have went through like a handful of lenses because I drop it.
Yeah.
I bumped it into something.
Yep.
And it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So kind of to wrap this thing up,
Yeah.
if you had to give advice to somebody that wanted to get onto YouTube today, start their channel today, what kind of advice would you give them, being that your YouTube journey's, over 5 years into this? What do you think you could tell somebody that just wants to get into this space now?
Do it.
Yeah.
It's they see someone like a Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
You have to have this camera.
Yeah.
You have to have mics. You have to have all this stuff. Use your phone.
Yeah.
Right now, the quality on the phones are better than the cameras I'm using.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just pick up and do it. You don't have to talk to it.
Yeah.
Maybe just do short. Now they have shorts on YouTube, right?
Yep.
So just do shorts.
Yeah.
Do what it's one of those things that just pick it up, point, and hit record.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're going to upload it,
Yeah.
but as time goes on, it'll get easier.
It's kind of just like doing reps, right? You're kind of just
Yeah.
getting into the motion
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
feeling it out, what it's like to be on camera, hearing yourself on camera.
And that's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, like I had 5 views.
Yeah.
Like first 4 was me. Just
Yeah.
like that's how I sound like.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. You just have to do it. Like with business, if you really want to do it, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Not saying you're gonna be successful.
Yeah.
Hopefully you are. I'm sure you are. But you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
It is a weird feeling talking to a camera.
Yeah.
But you'll get over it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Now, the next thing is, what would you tell somebody trying to get into the print business, whether it's screen printing, DTF, transfers, whatever it is in the print space?
You just got to find out, sit down, what is it you want to do?
Yeah.
Figure out, okay, I want to print t-shirts. Okay. How you want to embellish that t-shirt?
Yeah.
What kind of print process you want it to do?
Yeah.
And check of where you want to do it. If you're going to do it at the house, then, you could do HTV.
Yeah.
Or get some transfers made.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do production work, maybe screen printing is something you want to do. But keep in mind, it's not just pushing squeegee. You gotta burn screens. Screen print. Let me just go back. Screen printing it's a process on its own.
Mhm.
You have to wash it, burn it, expose it. Before you even put the screen on the press.
Yep.
So figure out what would work for you as a business and what your business model is.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, then you're gonna be wasting a lot of money and equipment.
Yeah.
Figure out your business model, especially if you're starting out. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna go through phases.
Yeah.
But figure out, if you don't have that that mindset in the beginning, then it's gonna be really bad, and you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that so much now is, people that watch my channel and, they'll be asking me a million questions and I try to respond to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
And then like, let's say 6 months down the road, I'll check in with that person. I'll look at the DMs. I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
And I follow up with them and they're like, oh man, I sold my press. And I was like, man, you barely got it.
Yeah.
And when I hear that, it's so, it's heartbreaking because I understand when they got into it, the ideal was there and the dream was there. and they just couldn't figure out how to work it. They couldn't figure out how to do it.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like you doing YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they see the glitz and glamour, right? And they say, I could do that.
Yep.
And let's do it. And then next thing you know, 6 months later, it's on Marketplace. That's why I tell people, just wait.
Yep.
just wait till spring. I'm sure it's gonna go on sale, or you'll see on your, in your neighborhood.
Yep.
But that's one of the reasons why I don't like doing YouTube and showing what I do.
Yeah.
Because it looks easy.
It does.
And I don't want them to think it's easy.
Yeah.
And I try to, that's why I like to show like, oh, I messed up.
Yeah.
Because, I'll mess up.
Yep.
And they don't see that. And,
you know what? And we make it look easy, right?
Mhm.
And I say that because we have years of experience behind it.
Yeah.
Right. And the experience isn't shown on camera.
No.
You're just seeing us go through the process and how
Yeah.
easy it is for us.
Yeah.
But as somebody brand new, and I was hearing about this at the show, was people were like, man, you just eyeball the t-shirt and you lay the transfer down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, it's 15, 20 years of doing this.
Yeah.
It's kind of muscle memory at that point.
Yeah.
And that's what YouTube doesn't show, is all the bad shit that happened
Yeah.
before we even got onto YouTube.
Yeah. And that's funny because if you were at the Rock, the DJ there's a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't make him, but he bought a press.
Yeah.
And he said, man, how do you align this thing?
Yeah.
Like we were talking about it earlier today. It's like he's trying to align the left chest.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's this,
Yeah.
it's this. And I have to like show him like how to do it.
Yeah.
He said, that's how you do it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
But if you do it repeatedly,
Yeah.
you'll figure it out.
Yep.
And it takes time. It's not just like, oh, I got this, it's gonna work right away.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's not.
There's hard work. The hard work is involved. And if you're not willing to put the work in,
You have to put the work in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
because you're only going to get so much out of the business,
Yeah.
but you have to put so much into it, right?
Yeah.
And some people just want to sit back and they think it's easy to do, and they're like, oh, I'm going to be making millions. And, sometimes it works out for people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the majority of us, it's hard work,
No,
man.
it's hard
It's
work.
long nights and hard work.
You're definitely working.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
It's crazy, man. All right. So one of the last ones I asked you is advice for somebody that wants to get into the DTF space. DTF is so new to what we're doing.
Mhm.
What's something that you could tell somebody that's thinking about getting into it, and something that you wish somebody told you before you got into it?
Why?
Yeah.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Why that? Why DTF? Like I said, I'm a screen printer. I'm still asking my question myself. Why did I get into this?
Yeah.
It's for me. It was ease of use, meaning that I don't have to burn. I don't have to print transparencies.
Yeah.
I don't have to coat a screen.
Yep.
I don't have to burn a screen. I don't have to wash a screen. I don't have to tape a screen. I don't have to align screens if I'm doing multiple colors. And then mix colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
now it's just more of, okay, if I can eliminate that, what would be the next thing?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do DTG.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
Yep.
Because DTG are limited to a certain amount of products, right?
Yep.
And when DTF came out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you just gotta, make sure your temper are correct. But it doesn't matter. And that word, it doesn't matter, I had to test that.
Yeah.
Why?
I think that's the important part
So
of this.
going back to getting stuff overseas,
Yeah.
I must have went through maybe 30, maybe close to 50 transfers.
Yeah.
Does it apply on cotton? 100%. 50/50s,
Yeah.
blends, nylon,
Yeah.
all that other stuff. And then now I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that's how I was trying to figure out. Can I put it on hard goods?
Yeah.
It didn't work. But
Yeah.
well, it did kind of. But now UV DTF,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So now it's like, okay, if I can eliminate all of this and get this DTF, it's great. And the biggest word is what is the capability,
Yeah.
right? Now you're thinking about DTF is like, what else am I capable of printing?
Yeah.
So now I can't, if you have a backpack, you have that little front pocket.
Yeah.
I can't screen print that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's hard to put it in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Now you can.
Yep.
So now I could think outside of the box. Like, what else can I print this thing on?
Yeah.
Golf bags, things like that. So now my screen printing was focused on these type of items.
Yeah.
Now
you had like a limited set of garments that you would screen print on, but then now
it's it's more of capability.
Yeah.
What are you capable of now?
Damn.
So
that's good.
That's something that this year I'm gonna be implementing. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you could print on shirts and stuff. That's a given.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's think outside of the box.
Yep.
What else can we do?
Yeah.
Even embroidery.
Yeah.
You can't embroider that little pocket.
No. That's so, man, that's crazy.
DTF it.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That's such a crazy thing to think about. Like, and my brain wasn't even there, right? I'm thinking DTF t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. Yeah. But if you're doing it on, bags and the other thing that I see that's popular is like tote bags and stuff like that. That's such a easy win right there with that kind of stuff.
And man. I just tested that too. The tote bags, I'm like, that works. And the cinch backpacks works.
There it is, man.
And I'm like, what else can I have?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to try to DTF like notebooks.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Yep.
I think you could do that now, but I just got to test it.
Yeah.
So that's for me this year is that word capable.
That's so dope,
what's
man.
What the capability?
Yeah.
What are you capable of doing?
Damn. Well, that's good fucking advice, man. I'll tell you this, especially from somebody that owns the machine, that runs a legitimate print shop and's been in business for a long time. That's good advice to give somebody coming up. These next few questions are going to be like rapid fire just to let people know a little bit about you.
Okay.
They're pretty random questions, but I always think it's pretty funny to hear people's responses on this stuff. So first one is, are you a Target guy or a Walmart guy?
Walmart.
Walmart? Yeah. Okay, cool. So
can I give you a reason why?
Yeah.
Because of Hot Wheels. I'm a Hot Wheels guy.
Oh, damn. All right. So they don't sell Hot Wheels at Target?
They do.
Yeah.
But it's only 99 cents at Walmart.
Oh, damn. All right. Hey, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, and I think they got more selection there. That's the only thing.
All right. The other one is, would you pick Friends or Seinfeld?
Friends.
Friends? All right, cool. Is there a certain reason why?
I never got into Seinfeld.
Oh, really?
I thought it was weird.
Oh, okay.
I can't watch this thing.
Yeah. All right. So being that you're a DJ and this one's a little bit catered to you, is what's your preferred music of spinning? And then give me 2 of your favorite songs.
Let's see. Preferred, I'm a 90s guy.
Yeah.
So I like the 90s, the New Jack Swing stuff. Maybe early 2000, but I'm a 90s guy.
There you go.
Yeah. What was the other question?
Give me 2 of your favorite songs, any genre, just your 2 favorites.
It will be Troy. They Reminisce Over You.
Yep.
By CL Smooth.
Yep.
Pete Rock. And if I go old school, it'll probably Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
Just their album's great.
Yeah. Dope. All right, now 2 of your favorite movies.
It will be the series of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And
all the way 1 through 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the series of the Oceans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oceans is dope too.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Now, if you have a free Saturday night, what are you doing? No work, no nothing, no DJ gig, no printing. What are you doing?
That's I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's hard because like I'm always doing something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But probably trying my best to hang out with the wife.
Yeah.
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 Like just doing something or just sitting there watching a movie or something.
That's right. I seen that you guys just went to Santa Cruz or something like that not too long ago,
Yeah, that
right?
was the first time we've been out for months.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. We're like, we just got to do it.
Kid free or?
Kid free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you guys out there for?
We were there for 2 nights. Well, actually, we stayed in San Jose because the Hilton gave me some comp.
Oh, dope.
I'm like, oh, I'm taking it.
So that's dope.
And we just went to Santa Cruz because we watched the G League Warriors.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, we just, it's like we needed it.
Yeah.
We needed a break.
I saw you stop by the Never Scared store too, right?
Yeah,
those dudes
homies.
are dope, man.
Yeah.
They stopped by over here. Those guys are cool, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
Those guys are cool, man.
Yeah, those guys are funny, man. They're good people.
Oh, yeah. Last one. Dream car.
Dream car.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's probably a 76. No, man, dream car. Well, it's a Datsun 620.
Okay. Okay.
Depending on the year, but it's a
Yeah.
Datsun 620.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I 100% appreciate you for jumping on with me.
Man, my pleasure, dude.
Being here, chopping it up with me has been super cool, man. And this is a kind of the way I wanted to launch this podcast, because I
Yeah.
haven't posted any of these yet.
Okay.
I just been canning them up. But the way I wanted to launch it was with dope people, for one. But two, I wanted to do it with people that are in the business, that work for themselves, not just in the t-shirt business, because I know you do the DJ stuff. But I wanted you to be able to share your story, one with me and with the people. But I think it's dope that, you know, the DJ side of things for you, and I'm intrigued by it too. Like every time you live stream, I'll watch and I'll tune in. And one, you're a dope ass DJ, but two, it's you get a chance to see a different side of just the t-shirt Rhybeats, right?
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, I'm glad I got a chance to hear about your DJ career and stuff like that, and how long you've been doing it. And I appreciate your friendship just over the years of you know, talking through YouTube and stuff like that, and meeting up at these conventions and stuff. So I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, you know, I appreciate you. I mean, likewise. You know,
Thank you.
It's one of those things that if YouTube wasn't here, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Right. And
exactly.
And you know, and like I was talking to somebody, but going to these conventions, you're surrounded by your peers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy to me because I see people like wearing their shop shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, we're all the same. Like,
yeah.
you're trying to sell me something. You can't sell me something. We're all here together, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny because like you're with your peers, and it's, you know, we're here to network.
Yeah.
You know, and we're here to enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
So it's weird that like since we're in the YouTube space, like people come up to us.
Yep.
And you know, I do apologize for people like you say what's up to me and like, who are you again?
Yeah.
Because you know you can't put the face. You
Yeah.
Because all we see is their name and their
That's
comments,
it.
right? And I do my best to just stop and talk to them because you know it's other than being in that space of YouTube.
Yeah.
You're here for a reason.
Yep.
For the show, and I'm here for a reason for the show.
Exactly.
And let's talk.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that.
Yeah. For me, I take the time to talk to everybody, and it's so dope. Like I go there with minimal obligations at the show, right?
Yeah.
I'm not in somebody's booth. I'm not doing stuff. I'm not trying to send you to anybody's booth.
Yeah.
I'm there to hang out with the people, man.
Yeah.
One, it's dope to see the people that watch me. It's really dope to hear their stories.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy when people are sharing their stories of, you know, their come up or how they got into the print space or how they found you on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love hearing that stuff, man, because I know that when I was coming up, I didn't have somebody to kind of help me get along or figure shit out.
Yeah.
So I know that my videos are reaching the right viewers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just kind of validates it when you go to these shows and you see these people and they're like, I'm here because of you, or I'm here because I watch you and you.
Yeah.
Or when they see, you know, both of us at the show together and I'm like, oh shit, I watch both of you. That's such a crazy thing to me still.
It's still. Yeah, same here. I'm like, it's just and I'm more grateful that they're watching.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I'm like, oh man, you're one of the 5 viewers. But you know, it's funny because you know I get that a lot, and it to me it's like, you want to talk to me, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's the other, for me it's the other way around.
Yep.
Like, why are you watching me?
Yeah.
Like I tell everybody my videos are not that great.
Yeah.
Like it's not polished like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just appreciative. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you. Like,
yeah, it's such a weird feeling. 100% grateful, but at the same exact time, like I said, I just haven't embraced it yet. I haven't come to grips with my role on YouTube and my personality on YouTube to be an influencer and content creator and stuff like that. So when I hear people or they come to the store or we see them at these shows, it's like, shit, I want to like hang out and drink a beer with you and get a chance to really know you because you're taking the time to share your story with me.
Yeah.
I talk all day on YouTube, but it's so dope to hear their story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people should put their story on YouTube.
Yeah. I encourage it all the time, man.
It's like you should do it.
I think it's dope for tracking your journey, right? If somebody that's just starting in the print business starts a channel at the same time and just films what they're doing and all the shit they're messing up on, it's going to help the next set of people coming up. But then also you could go back 2 years later, be like, oh shit, man, like I remember these first few videos.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, don't just just do it, because you never know. Some person is going through the same thing.
Exactly.
And you're not the only one.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah,
So it's crazy.
100%, man.
It's crazy.
So thank you, Rye, for stopping
Hey
by.
man, thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey,
It's a
thank you.
pleasure.
And especially since you were in town, I knew I had to get you on
Yeah,
here, man.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you.
I appreciate you. Man.
Appreciate it. So if you haven't, let people know exactly where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Rhybeats, Rhybeats, and definitely hit me up on Instagram. Same thing. I try to keep all my handles the same.
Nice.
You know, feel free to DM me, and I try to, you know, or leave a comment. I try to comment within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, man. If you wanted to run a print shop out of your home, Rye to me is the person to watch, because he shows all the ins and outs. There's no fluff. He's not selling you shit. It's just exactly what he's doing, the clients he's working for. He's showing real jobs that he's actually taking in. So to me, it's, if you wanted the insider info, that's the person to how to run a real legitimate print shop from home. And majority of the people that watch this are operating from home. So if you want to see somebody doing it and doing it right, then check out my man Rhybeats right here, man.
Yeah.
So Rye, thank you, brother. Appreciate you,
it, man. Thank you.
Cool, man. And I'll say this podcast right here, I recorded a bunch of these throughout this weekend, and I fucked up, and I didn't even have my recorder turned on. So I'm going to try to re-record these, but Rye was one of the lucky ones that got on here, and successfully everything is working and recording. So when these things go live, if you guys do want to see more podcasts like this with people like Rhybeats or other guests and stuff, please let me know in the comments. Follow my man Rhybeats right here, and make sure you run it up for him. All right. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.
Later.